falling apart here. You'll need a container that you can put your paper mache in. So I'll bring these out and clear off the shelf. Now, one of the reasons I brought this one to show you is that someone didn't clean this out correctly, and that's why you have to clean. So this paste dried up in here, and over a long time, you're able to pop it right out, okay? So I'm just gonna leave this here so I can show my other classes, but you need to just rinse your bowl out in the sink so that it does not dry up, okay? Now, you can save this. Use cold water, it's okay. This is called paste. They call this art paste. So it's just like cellulose, which is like kind of ground up paper, and it's in a powder form. So I'll read you the directions. It says, mix the entire contents of the package in 3.8 liters of cold water. Now I'm just gonna mix a little bit smaller for my example. It says, mix it in cold water and continue stirring for 2 minutes. Wait 15 minutes, and that's important because it thickens up after 15 minutes. Stir thoroughly then and use. And anytime you store it, put the lid on so it doesn't dry up, and just remix and use it. If it gets a little dry, maybe because we were gone, you know, we have the A-B day. If it's a little dry, you can add like a little drizzle of water in there and mix it in, okay? It says store unused paste in an airtight container. Like I said, clean up with soap and water. So you can get a little soap. We have those soap dispensers on the wall. Put them on the rag. There's a rag bucket back there, and wipe it off. About half a gallon. Okay, so that would be about, yeah. So we would use about like a little less than a quarter of this. So if you just eyeball it, again, it's not an exact scientific measure. So if we just cut it in half and then in half again, okay. So about that much. You kind of feel like maybe some wet dough on your hand. You will see some lumps in here, so you do need to smash this down with your fingers, okay? Some days you'll get in here and there'll be paper mache already, so you might not have to mix this. But I will write out all the measurement for you guys to mix, but everybody has to know how to mix it, because I don't want people coming in and saying, oh, I couldn't do it because I didn't have paper mache. Well, everybody has to watch this video, and I will put out some measuring implements. So you can see it's getting better, but you can still see there's chunks, and you can see the white. So you got to keep breaking these up. All right, breaking them up. Now, this is not the only thing that you can make paper mache out of. You can just use white glue and water. That's a little more expensive. So we are using this, and this one is actually easier to clean up and faster to dry. The glue and water one keeps your newspaper like really wet, and this one dries faster. So your paper mache dries faster with this, and it's a little more economical for our prices. Just for my demonstration, this is okay, but you guys see the chunks in here? You wouldn't want those chunks, so you'd want to keep pressing it in with your fingers and mixing it around, okay? All right, so I'm gonna wipe this off my hands. Again, don't say like, oh, I hate this and I don't want to touch it. You could bring in gloves. I do have some yellow gloves hanging up there you can use. They are small size, okay? But if you want to bring in your own gloves and store them, I can give you a private place to store them so nobody else would use them. But if you don't like to touch it, you can bring in gloves and work with gloves. But please make sure that you're not just running and washing your hands, because it's going to be here for the class, and then you can wash them at the end.